Hey, welcome. Today, we're digging for a little grammar gold and shining a light on one of the hardest working words in the English language, the pronoun. They're kind of the unsung heroes that make our sentences flow, and we're about to see exactly how they pull it off. Let's get into it. So, first up, why should you even care about pronouns? Well, think of them as your secret weapon against clunky, repetitive writing. They have this amazing power to take a sentence that's, well, a bit of a mess and make it smooth and elegant. Okay, just take a look at the sentence. Maria went to the store because Maria needed milk for Maria's cereal. I mean, we get it, right? We know who we're talking about, but hearing Maria, 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 it's just awkward. It's more than a little repetitive, isn't it? It just feels wrong. Luckily, there's a super simple fix, and it's something we all use every single day, probably without even thinking about it. And that fix is, of course, the pronoun. A pronoun is just a word that steps in and takes the place of a noun. So that clunky sentence we saw, it becomes, Maria went to the store because she needed milk for her cereal. See that? Boom, instantly better. It's clear, it's concise, and it just sounds right. That, my friends, is the power of the pronoun. All right, so to really wield this power, you just need to know two golden rules. Seriously, that's it. Get these down and you'll be getting your pronouns right every single time. First, we gotta meet the pronoun's best friend, the antecedent. Now, that sounds like a fancy, complicated grammar term, but it's not. It's just the original noun that the pronoun is replacing. The antecedent is what gives the pronoun its meaning. Without it, the pronoun is totally lost. This makes it super clear. Look at the sentence, Ted is a fisherman, he catches a lot of fish. Who is he? Well, it's Ted, right? Ted is our antecedent. The pronoun he points right back to Ted. If we didn't have Ted in that first sentence, the word he would be completely meaningless. That link is absolutely crucial. And that brings us right to our first golden rule, and it's a big one. Every single pronoun needs to have a clear antecedent. It has to point back to something specific. No exceptions. Just following this one rule will save you from so much confusion in your writing. And here's rule number 2, which is just as important. Pronouns have to agree with their antecedents. And what does that mean? It means they have to match in two ways, in number and in gender. Let's break that down real quick. First, let's talk about number. If your antecedent is plural, like people, then your pronoun has to be plural too. So you use their. Make sense, right? Now let's look at gender. If the antecedent is female, like Dorothy, the pronoun has to match, so we use her. This agreement is what keeps everything logical and clear. Okay, so now that we've got the rules down, let's meet the pronouns you'll be using the most, the personal pronouns. Honestly, you can think of these as the main characters, the MVPs of your communication toolkit. Now, personal pronouns basically have two main jobs. First, you've got your subjective pronouns, words like I, he, and they. These are the doers in a sentence. They're the ones performing the action. For example, he emailed a memo. Then you have the objective pronouns, like me, him, and them. These guys receive the action, as in, the employee emailed him. It's really just a question of who's doing it versus who it's being done to. And this whole system is organized really neatly by perspective. So you have the first person, which is the person speaking. That's I or we. Then there's the second person, which is who you're speaking to. That's always you. And finally, third person is who you're talking about. So he, she, or they. This is a great little map for finding the exact pronoun you need in any situation. All right, for our last section, let's talk about a slightly more mysterious but super useful group, the indefinite pronouns. These are the words we grab when we're talking about a person or a thing that isn't really specific or hasn't been named yet. Yeah. Just like the name says, an indefinite pronoun doesn't point to one specific thing. We're talking about words like somebody, anyone, and everything. Their real power comes from being general and nonspecific. And these come in a few different flavors, Somebody usually refers to a specific but unknown person. We often use anybody when we're asking questions. Nobody, well, that one's pretty obvious. It's negative. And everybody, of course, means the whole group. And you can see them here in just normal conversation. Everybody was trying to find a hiding place. Or listen to this one. I didn't think anybody remembered our anniversary. We use these all the time. They are completely essential to how we talk every day. So there you go. Pronouns are not that scary, are they? They're like the grammatical glue that holds our language together, turning clunky phrases into something clear and elegant. The only question now is, What pronoun are you going to use to make your next sentence just a little bit smoother? Thanks for tuning in.